So I want to talk to you about building your website. Now, our first idea of websites are that's something somebody else will do. I don't need it. It's not that important. But it really is. It really is important for all of you to think about the website. Now, when you think about websites, you think about commerce, you think about going into business. Some of you are not really that interested in that. But websites basically are your new portfolio. And portfolios are really important to artists, even for just the artists themselves. So one of the things that we like to do is take pictures of all of our paintings. And we used to keep those in a book. And consequently, it was kind of difficult to keep that book updated and make that a viable thing that you could actually use, you know, to go to galleries and stuff. Nowadays, it's your website. And your website really doesn't need to be a complicated one. It can be a plug and play. And we're basically discussing this because Shirley all of a sudden found that she could have really used a website like right now. Okay? Because you never know when you're in a situation where somebody goes, "Oh, you do that? Let me see some of your stuff." And you're sitting there going, and then you pull out your phone and then you do a really bad attempt at trying to find something that you want them to see, and you know, and your book that was your portfolio is sitting at home. And so what galleries will do is, if you're just wandering through a gallery and you might be somewhere and somebody goes, can I help you? And they go, "Oh, you know, I'm just an artist. You know, I'm just looking." And they go, "Oh, really? Let me see some of your work." And you go, "Well, if you go to," and they'll ask, "Can I see your website?" Okay? Literally, that will be the question that every gallery owner will ask you. And you never know when you are in a situation where that question might come up. And you know how difficult it is to approach galleries. And we all want to be part of a gallery. So you don't want to have a situation like that creep up and not be prepared. And it doesn't take a lot to get the bare minimum. And one of the things that I would suggest is to go and secure your domain name first. And even if you do nothing at all with it, just secure it. It's like $20 a month or something. It's really, I mean, $20 a year. It's really cheap. You go to GoDaddy or one of the websites out there that says Domain Name Network Solutions. There's several websites that do that. HostGator, any place that will do that. And one of the issues, and the reason why I want to discuss this, is because you may want to do this. What were you going to ask?
We have our website on the back of our business cards.
Yeah, well, that's why you first got to have the website, so you could have your business card so you could do anything else. Now remember, last week we talked about Levon showing, Darla and Levon showing their work at the clubhouse. And all of a sudden a client popped in, went to their house, bought a painting. Okay? Those are the circumstances that kind of happen and you don't know. Now Shirley went to a furniture store probably to buy some furniture and stuff, and in the conversation she mentioned that she was an artist. And they immediately said, "Oh really? We're looking for an artist to hang on our walls." So she was at that point, she's close only. And the thing at that point is people expect you out there to have websites. If you are doing anything, if you're making little apples and letting them shrivel up and putting clothes on them, you've got a website somewhere. You know, so websites are just, but we're afraid of them, especially our generation, because we think that's something somebody else will do. The most important thing when establishing your website is your domain name. And you want to nail that. And if that's available...
Now, what do you mean by your domain name?
That's exactly what. Your domain name is www.yourname.com. Okay. So first thing, don't concern yourself, nor do you want to purchase or buy a .org, .net, .gov, .business. You want to get a .com business because by default, everybody puts .com. Okay, so you want whatever that is, .com. Now, what do you use for your name? You don't use like littleladypaintingонsunday.com, okay? You don't do that. What you are branding is your name. Not artists, not anything. You're branding your name. So we went back and forth with Shirley, and you know, I kept on saying, no, is your first and last name used? Shirley Dwyer. Is that available? I put it in line and it didn't look like it went anywhere. So I thought, do that. And then you kept on coming back going, Shirley Dwyer, what was it that you settled on?
Images in oil.
Images in oil. See, now it's going to be difficult for people to remember images in oil. And are you talking about oil lamps? Crude oil? You know, it's like it leads on, so what is salad dressing? You know, it's like it is. So it's not really, you know, if you would like Shirley Dwyer artist, maybe, or painter, that would be a little bit, and it's got to be short. You got to be able to like have it, you know, Shirley Dwyer is best, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to brand your name. Even Dwyer.com, if it has it, or Shirley, well, Shirley.com I'm sure is taken, but Dwyer might not be. I don't know how popular it is, but Shirley Dwyer might be available. Man, you snagged this. 35 years ago when they first started getting this stuff, I got StefanBaumann.com. Okay, I got thegrandview.com. I got thegrandview.org, and I got thegrandview.net. You know, so because I knew I was going to work with those, but I didn't bother getting StefanBaumann.org, StefanBaumann.net. I got StefanBaumann.com. I got an .org site, thegrandview.org, because I have the PBS television show. And a .org site is usually like non-profit. You know, that's usually where you find your Earth sites and all this stuff. So the organizations are .org. So I got a .org site, but I also got the .com site because I'm a business. So I got the grandview.com. And when you go to grandview.com, that's about my workshops. And if you want to come and paint up in Mount Shasta, my .org site is my PBS site. And so thegrandview.org, you get to go into my television show, all the information that pertain to PBS. So that's a .org site. And then I have my go-to business site, which is stefanbaumann.com. And I've just recently made that really powerful. When you go and sign up for your registration for your site, you want to also get a WordPress tablet. And they'll ask you, so what do you want? WordPress? And there's like 15 different kinds of companies that put out tablets. When you see the word WordPress, push yes. WordPress is the leader in all of the website designs. And they're up to date. You could have them transfer your website into Chinese, into Arabic, and you could have it have a store. WordPress is the go-to that most designers are using right now. Huh?
Like a template?
Yeah, they'll have templates, and you just get a free template, and then it's basically plug and play. It will ask you, if you can do Facebook, you can get a website together. It will say add images. You add images. It will say, what do you want to say here? Add text. Literally, it's so easy that there really is no reason why none of you should have it. Now, you can go to a website place that for artists. And Shirley had mentioned this, that, you know, there's like finearts.com, and under there they have like 10 billion artists that you can get a site, and it's a plug and play. The issue with that is that it's you know, Shirley Dwyer at fineartist.com. It's not like Google or Yahoo or anything like that. And it's not www. It's like their company in there. And within that, all the people that will really see you are other artists. And you don't have the ability to step out of that noise. It's like taking sand to the beach. You just become gobbled up. But if you're intimidated and you're really not thinking about doing anything with your website, but you want this online portfolio so that people can at least see what you do, you know, and have it organized in a way and updated, you want to just get something on there that's easy. Those organizations are fabulous for that. You can just put it on there. They're very easy. And I highly recommend that all of you go home tonight and snag your domain name. Just see if it's available and snag it if you don't do anything else. Once you have it, just follow the instructions. You'll have your website up in a day or two. Even if you know nothing about computers, I have a lot of students that have done that. Then have a business card with your website on it, and then just let life live. At some point, you will run into somebody that will go, can I see your website? And you'll go, sure, why not? And you have everything there. You never know who wants to see your work, and it doesn't mean that you necessarily want to make a business out of it. Even just to share it to your family. It's just nice to have a go-to spot that everything's organized in there. If they ask you to do a blog, put yes. You all should be blogging, and even if it's nothing more than just your recipes. And the reason for that is because Google, which is the main company that runs all of this stuff, they like up-to-date information. And if you are yakking on your site and putting up little blogs saying, well, look at my new painting, click. Look at my this. And then really, it's that simple to do something and put one of your paintings up. It doesn't really have to go anywhere, but Google sits there and goes, an active website, let's take a look. And they'll start looking at that. And then they'll put you higher in the ranking as opposed to somebody that's not doing anything with their website. They're trying to get rid of all the dead wood. You know, when you used to go to the website, every website you went to was no link, no link. Well, Google is starting to clean up their act. And so if you're not doing anything on your website, they will just kind of drop you and you'll be low ranking. But if you're saying, look at my new recipe, I love this. And if you're doing this and that, they will put you in to a more preferred area. And then depending on your content, you can move up without having to pay anybody to do that. So it's just really important to start it. Even if you just open it and not do anything with it, the fact that you have one that's open for a year or two will actually improve your ranking as opposed to brand new ones that come in. Okay? So you had a question?
Well, if you join the Sunnyvale Art Club, you can put your pictures on their website, and there are not that many people in it, so that therefore, you know, you just tell a person, just look at my work on the Sunnyvale Art Club website. Mm-hmm. So that, and also the Cupertino does the same thing. So if you join one of those clubs, all you have to do is send your pictures to the webmaster, and they'll put them on the site for you.
Yeah, the issue with that is having a site that has, what she said was that you could get like a Sunnyvale Art Club has a site. And do they offer a page or just?
They have several different venues where you could see the work. Like if you had been at one of the venues that we put the whole website, the whole event on the website, then, or if you want a prize, it would be on there. So there are different ways that you could see your work, not just, but you can click and then you'll have them.
But you don't have a lot of control over that.
No, but whatever you send in is what you have control of.
Yeah. Now let me tell you something that's really, really important. Learn for yourself how to do this. Learn for yourself how to do this. The reason for that is because when you need the Sunnyvale Art Group, and usually those people are volunteer, but you'll call up and go, oh, I got a new picture, I want to put it up on the website. And they'll go, well, we'll get to it on the weekend. And then something happens and they don't get it. And you're sitting there going, I want it up. And you,
Well, if you send it on email to them, then they've got it, and usually they put it on.
Usually. But, you know, I always side.
Unless we lose our person doing it.
Yeah, and then you got somebody else that does it on the weekend. Plus, you don't have any, like, you know, you feel like you have to filter everything. So you're looking at your website and you go, I don't know if I like those two words together like that, right? But then you go, oh God, I got to go contact Fred. And Fred is, you know, half the time in a bad mood. And if I tell him that I want to switch and to, you know, he's going to think I micromanage him. I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay? Can you see what a pain in the ass that becomes? And before you know it, you've got all this stuff in your website that you don't like, but you're too afraid to bother Fred because he's grumpy. You know? But he knows how to do it. Learn how to do this stuff. It's not that hard. And it's good for your brain. You know, they said on 60 Minutes, just if you want to live longer, they said it's good to use your brain. And really push it when you feel like, oh my God, that's why computers are really important for people that are aging. Because it makes you think differently. And that differently keeps your brain young. And so it's just really good to work at it. And plus it becomes a pride. To click in and see your work and see your stories and see this, it really becomes a feather in your cap. So I highly recommend to think about getting it. Start off with a domain name, make it simple, and make it work. Okay?
And excuse me, and the domain name, is that where they show you how to set up the website?
When you click it, if you go to GoDaddy.com, it will say what website do you want. In your instance, you want Kathy Briggs. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they'll say Kathy Briggs is available.com. Okay, then they might say no, but maybe K Briggs is available. or maybe KV Briggs, or something that, you know, whatever initials you need, or Kathy Brigg artist might be available. But you want to keep it really simple so that people say, oh, it's just my name plus artist.
So which
You know.
is it, GoDaddy?
GoDaddy is one of the more reasonable ones. So once you click in there, there's going to be a window that pops up and say, do you want to sign up your website now? And then you'll go, yes, why not? Have your credit card ready. And then they'll go, so what do you want? And they'll have all this stuff, and all of a sudden you see WordPress. Click WordPress, and then it will say templates, yes. You just kind of go yes, and before you know it, it's up. Okay? Just give yourself a couple of hours, and you know, it can be all empty. You don't have to put any pictures on. But just choose a template, put your name on it, and then go to bed. Okay, and then worry about it or contact me afterwards to kind of get to the next phase. But just follow it along just to see how far you are. You should just be curious because it's like art, you know. And then another key thing, when you're stuck, go to YouTube. YouTube is fabulous on telling you how to do everything. They will. Oh, there's people. If you really want to do this, this is how I learned, because I don't know squat about building a website. I mean, I am like, ugh, I don't even do Facebook because I hate that whole thing. So I found a guy, there's thousands of people giving you free information. What's important is to find somebody you like to listen to. You know, there's a lot of people, when they start talking, if you want to build a WordPress workshop, hey Fred, is dinner yet? You know, I mean, literally, they just like ramble on. You want to find somebody that sounds interesting, that knows what they're talking about. There's one guy out there that says, how to build a WordPress website with no part missing. And what I do is I open that up on my computer and I push play. And he says, first contact your hosting company, which would be like GoDaddy. And so you push stop, and then you open up another window, and then you go looking for a host company. And then you push play, and he says, fill out your name right here. Stop, look for that, fill out your name right there. Then you push play. Now submit to see if you're, and literally you can just follow along. It takes a couple of hours, but you could have somebody guide you through building up a website, and it wouldn't cost you anything. It's free. You just have to have a little bit of patience to kind of rewind and go forward, rewind and go forward, rewind and go forward. You can build a website by yourself. It is possible because I did it. It took me, in fact, when I got through with it, it was Saturday, it was so easy that I decided if I'm going to start making my website a little bit more powerful, I'm going to look for a harder template. So I started researching one that was really cool with lots of things and windows and all kinds of stuff that had beautiful background. And then I started the process all over again because there was somebody telling me how to do it with that template. And so I made it harder for me because I wanted a better website. But if you want a basic website, man, you could get it up really quick. Okay, yeah.
Plus, you really learn how to speak the language too. I'm amazed at the terminology you're using now around it.
Oh yeah, you'll start seeing stuff like SEO. What in the world is SEO? Right? The search engine optimization. Wow. Okay, so what does that do? So you go into YouTube and you go, search engine optimization, and somebody goes, hi, do you want to know what a search engine optimization is? And he'll tell you that's what Google uses to, and if you can get the words just right, they give you a green light. And then when the bots come from Google to look around, they go, ooh, green lights. And they pull your website up first. Do this, and I really want to see if you guys can play the game. Just try it, see if it's out there. And if you have any questions about your domain names or what's available, text me. Don't call me, don't email me, but text me. I usually get back to my texts. They might be really short. I might say yes or no. And if I have a minute, like Shirley texts me a few things, and I give her a call back. And even then, she felt like she was invading my time. But I enjoy doing that stuff outside of class. Okay, yeah.
When you're taking a picture of your painting, is there a special thing you should do when you're putting it on that website?
No, you could just take it off of your phone.
Okay.
The better you get your photos, the better you are. Okay, but right now don't worry about that. Even if you have an empty site, just let it sit empty. You know, but take photos first with your phone and then later on update it.
Okay.
Okay?